So for my throwback day of April 2018, I wanted to talk about a movie that I have been curious about for years, and that is the 1974 noir film directed by Roman Polanski, Chinatown, starring Jack Nicholson and Faye Dunaway. This is the story of a private investigator named Jake Geddes who gets called to find out if someone's husband is having an affair. And when he actually stumbles upon this case and tries to get a little bit more involved, he finds out that this one specific person who he has been instructed to follow is part of a much bigger conspiracy that involves corruption, greed, and murder. So through this, he encounters many different people who are involved in this one specific case, and through that, he discovers the true underbelly of what is going on in 1930s Los Angeles involving the water supply. So this is a movie that I had always been interested in seeing. It was a movie that had been mentioned to me in so many different ways, and it was a movie that was also up for Best Picture in 1974, but how could it have possibly been able to beat out The Godfather Part 2 starring Al Pacino? That's a movie that I will be discussing in another point in time on my channel. But Chinatown was always something that intrigued me, and I always do enjoy a good film noir. There are some that don't usually make the mark for me, case in point LA Confidential, but I always do appreciate the stories that take place in noirs, especially when they take place in the 1930s and 40s, because that was such an interesting time, especially in Los Angeles, with cases like the Black Dahlia murder, as well as the mysterious death of George Reeves, aka Television Superman. So when I saw this movie, I wasn't really sure what I was going to expect. Maybe my expectations were too high. And yes, when the movie started, it started off a bit slow, minus the great acting from Jack Nicholson as Geddes. But this movie, as the layers got peeled back and the story started to unfold, I really got invested in this movie. I really got invested in the characters. The directing is absolutely spectacular. While it is a slow burn, it is such an engaging slow burn. You really care for the characters, and you really enjoy how this movie unfolds in regards to this massive case that Geddes had no idea was going to actually be what he was going to get involved in. Faye Dunaway as Evelyn Mulwray. You know, Faye Dunaway is a person in Hollywood that I always knew the name of, but it hasn't been until very recently when I'm finally starting to see some of her films. She is a stunning and beautifully talented actress. Seeing her in Network was unbelievable. Seeing her in Chinatown, she had so much emotion and so much drama to her acting prowess. Definitely one of the greatest female performers in Hollywood ever. And I'm so excited to hopefully see Bonnie and Clyde at some point in time, because I really appreciate her. Seeing Jack Nicholson so young, as someone who has watched Jack Nicholson films for so many years, it's hard to believe he is 80 years old this year. What a fantastic performance. He played with such charisma, and he was a no-nonsense private investigator in Chinatown, and I absolutely appreciated his performance and how he cracked this case, and that ending was just absolutely crazy, even though not as extravagant as some of the action or drama films that you see in Hollywood today, but the atmosphere and the acting is really what drives this movie, along with a fantastic score by Goldsmith. Absolutely wonderful. I was so happy when I finished watching this movie, because I really was happy that, even though I don't know how high my expectations were, I think they were somewhere in the middle when I finally turned on this movie, I was just so happy at the end being satisfied with this film. But I think one of the very interesting things that surprised me about this film was, why is it called Chinatown? I never understood why this movie was called Chinatown, but then throughout the movie, Chinatown is mentioned a great deal because there is a major connection to Jake Geddes' past. And I think the most interesting thing about this film is the fact that at the end of the day, we still have no idea what his true connection to Chinatown is, besides the fact that he actually was a member of the police force working for the district attorney's office before he became a private investigator. If you have not seen Chinatown and you like noir films, this is a must-see. I was so impressed by this film. It is wonderful. wonderful. I mean, I would actually say that if The Godfather Part 2 did not come out in theaters in 1974, I think that Chinatown would have definitely taken the Best Picture Oscar, because it really is a well-done film. This is a movie that I really do want to see again. There are very few noirs that I really do want to see multiple times, and this is definitely one of those that I could see myself watching numerous times, and it's so cheap to get on DVD at this point in time. Yes, I really do think I would get this movie on DVD. The only downfall for Chinatown is the fact that noirs are not something that pleases everyone. Not everybody likes a slow burn, atmospheric, engaging film. I'm sorry, it's just the way that we are as humans these days. But if you do like this, you would definitely enjoy this one a great deal, which is why I'm going to be giving Chinatown a 3.5 stars out of 4. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. Put your comments in the box below, and let's discuss Chinatown, and I will see you in the next one. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. If you're new here and want to see more of what my channel has to offer, please click on the link to my last video, or hit that subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of my uploads. Content of all sorts is posted here quite often, so trust me, you do not want to fall behind. I will see you in the comments, and actions speak louder than words.